You ever notice how your keys have a black belt in disappearing acts? 1 second they're in your hand, the next they've joined the witness protection program. Let's count down the real reasons your brain loves playing hide and seek with them. Number 10. Autopilot mode. Here's the truth. You didn't lose your keys. You just never actually noticed where you put them in the first place. Think of it like this. Your brain was busy, your body was on autopilot, and your keys got dumped somewhere in the middle of the chaos. You know that moment when you walk into your house juggling a bag, your phone buzzing, maybe a coffee in the other hand? You toss your keys down while kicking your shoes off, scrolling Instagram, and thinking about whether you remembered to reply to that one email. That moment didn't even register in your brain. It didn't make the cut. Your brain is selective. It doesn't record every little thing. It prioritizes. And keys dropped on the counter while I was half distracted doesn't exactly qualify as a blockbuster moment worth saving. So later, when you desperately need to find them, you're not actually recalling anything. You're guessing. And that's why you're checking random spots like a detective who's lost the case files. You didn't lose your keys. You just didn't hit save on the memory. Autopilot is like that sneaky roommate who swears they didn't eat your leftovers. Technically true, they just weren't paying attention when they did. Number 8. The usual spot betrayal. This is the one that really hurts. You have a system, a ritual. Keys always go on the counter. That's the sacred spot, the shrine, the place you've trained your brain to trust. But then, one day, you betray yourself. Maybe you walked in with groceries. Maybe the counter was full. Maybe you just weren't thinking. You put them on the bookshelf instead. And now, your brain refuses to believe it. You check the counter 5 times. You glare at the counter like it personally wronged you. You even move things around on it, hoping the keys are hiding under a loaf of bread. Nope, nothing. And then, after 20 minutes of tearing your house apart, you finally find them on the bookshelf. Suddenly, you're questioning reality. Why would I ever put them here? Who even am I? The usual spot system is a lifesaver, until it isn't. Because the second you deviate, your brain's trust collapses. And here's the cruel part. Once you find the keys, your brain acts like it always knew. Oh yeah, bookshelf. Totally makes sense. No, brain, it doesn't. You betrayed me. Number 7. The context glitch. Your brain loves context. That's why you remember things better when you're in the same environment where they happened. Study at your desk, you'll recall facts at your desk. Walk into the exam hall, suddenly your brain plays dumb. Same deal with keys. If you put them in the bedroom, but your brain associates keys with the kitchen counter, guess what? You're out of luck. It's like trying to look up your vacation photos but accidentally searching the taxes folder. Wrong context, no results. That's why you swear you checked a spot already, but later find them there anyway. Your brain didn't have the right password to unlock that memory until you stumbled back into the right context. Here's an example. You usually leave your keys by the door. One day, you throw them on your desk in the bedroom. Later, you check the door table 6 times. Nothing. You're convinced they've evaporated. Then finally, when you wander into the bedroom, boom! Your brain lights up like, oh yeah, here they are. The context glitch is sneaky. It makes you doubt yourself, makes you recheck the same places, and convinces you your keys have magical teleportation powers. Spoiler, they don't. Number 6. Memory interference. Memory interference is when yesterday's habits bulldoze today's. Your brain is basically Netflix, and sometimes it plays the wrong episode. Yesterday, you put your keys on the coffee table. Today, you put them on the dresser. But when you try to recall, your brain reruns yesterday's episode. It confidently says, coffee table. You You check. Nothing. You check again, just in case the keys are trolling you. Still nothing. Meanwhile, the real episode, today's, is locked in the vault, waiting for you to stumble on it by accident. Interference is why you circle the same room 10 times. You keep trusting the wrong memory, and the worst part? The more you repeat the wrong answer, the more confident you get. It has to be the coffee table. Where else would they be? But memory interference doesn't care about your logic. It's just stacking old memories on top of new ones, leaving you confused and late. It's like trying to play your favorite playlist, but Spotify keeps shoving in random songs you listened to last week. Sure, they're familiar, but they're not what you need right now. Your brain does the same thing with keys. Number 5, stress fog. Stress makes everything worse. You're already running late. Your boss is texting. You can hear the clock ticking louder than usual, and suddenly your brain collapses. You start patting yourself down like a magician doing a bad trick. Nothing in this pocket, nothing in that pocket, nothing up my sleeve. Stress activates fight or flight mode, which is great if you're wrestling a bear, but not if you're looking for car keys. Your brain under stress doesn't want to calmly recall details. It wants to pump adrenaline, increase your heartbeat, and prepare for danger. That's why the harder you panic search, the dumber your brain becomes. You'll look in the same spot 3 times and still not see the keys sitting right there. Stress fog blinds you, and when you finally find them in the most obvious place possible, you're embarrassed. You want to blame someone else, the cat, the dog, maybe ghosts. But deep down, you know it was stress turning your brain into mashed potatoes. The cruel irony is that stress makes you lose your keys and makes you worse at finding them. Double punishment. Number 4, the overstuffed brain. Think of your brain like a messy closet. It's stuffed with old memories, random thoughts, and junk you don't need anymore. Forgetting is actually your brain's way of decluttering. If it remembered everything, you'd be overwhelmed. You don't need to remember every single blink, breath, or crumb on the counter. Your brain is busy filtering. So when you forget where your keys are, it's not a failure, it's efficiency. Your brain decided this detail is boring, we'll throw it out. That's why losing your keys feels insulting. You know your brain can remember song lyrics from 2006, but it can't handle keys on the dresser. Because the brain prioritizes emotional, exciting, or survival-related stuff, not mundane details. The overstuffed brain is like your email inbox with 10,000 unread messages. It can't store everything, so it starts deleting stuff automatically. And sometimes, the casualty is your keys. Number 3, creative scatterbrain. This one's for the daydreamers. The people are always off in another world. Creative brains are powerful, but they're terrible at keeping track of keys. Why? Because when you set them down, your brain wasn't thinking about the keys. It was building a story, imagining an idea, solving a problem. The detail of keys on the nightstand didn't make the list. Einstein himself was notoriously forgetful. The guy built theories that explained the universe, but couldn't remember simple things like phone numbers. Same energy. Creative scatterbrains are so busy connecting random thoughts that they forget practical details. So if you constantly lose your keys, maybe it's because your brain is busy inventing. The bright side? You're probably more imaginative than your ultra-organized friend. The downside? You'll spend 15 minutes searching for keys while they smugly pull theirs from the same hook they always use. Creativity has its price. Number 2, phantom memory. This is pure evil. Phantom memory is when your brain convinces you that you put your keys somewhere, even though you didn't. You can see the memory in your head. You picture yourself placing them on the counter. You can practically hear the clink. But when you go check, nothing, because you never actually did it. Your brain sometimes confuses thoughts with actions. You thought about putting them there, so the brain stamped it as done. Now you're arguing with yourself in the kitchen. I know I put them here. No, you didn't. You imagined it. Phantom memory is your brain trolling you, planting false evidence. And it gets worse. The more vividly you remember it, the angrier you get when it's not there. That anger makes you even less likely to recall the real spot. Phantom memories don't just confuse you, they trap you. They're like your brain's cruel prank show. Number 1, your brain hates small details. At the end of the day, the big truth is this. Your brain just doesn't care about tiny, boring details. It's busy keeping you alive, beating your heart, regulating your body, processing emotions, planning your future. Keys are small, forgettable, replaceable. Your brain prioritizes survival, not keys next to the lamp, 3 inches from the receipts. That's why you can sing along to a song you haven't heard in 10 years, but can't remember where you put your keys yesterday. The brain files emotions, stories, and survival info in permanent storage. Keys? Temporary files that get trashed? So when you're frantically searching, don't be too hard on yourself. Your brain isn't broken. It's efficient. Just not in a way that helps you get to work on time. So next time your keys vanish, remember, it's not just you. It's all of us. The brain is brilliant, messy, selective, and sometimes a little cruel. Losing your keys is part of the human experience. Now I want to hear from you. What's the weirdest place you've ever found your keys? Was it the fridge, the laundry basket, maybe even the trash can? Drop your story in the comments. And if this brain breakdown made you laugh, or at least made you feel a little less alone, stick around, because there are plenty more human quirks we need to roast together.